Greetings. We are New England Skilled Trades. We're gonna have quite a variety of videos. We're gonna have some stuff on gas, plumbing, heating, air conditioning, maybe a little bit of electrical. Uh, but we want to start out answering a lot of questions people have about getting licensed in Massachusetts and New Hampshire. Um, so this is part one. This is going to be trade requirements. Credentials to get licensed in Massachusetts, and then we'll have another part further on down the road on New Hampshire regulations. But all right, well, let's get started on Massachusetts requirements. So for plumbing, we have plumbing and gas, and they fall under the Board of State Examiners of Plumbers and Gas Fitters. There's a link there posted for you, so you can copy that and get more information if you need. Then next we have the Electrical Board of State Examiners of Electricians. It's almost the same place, only it's for electricians. It'll give you all the information you need that we may not answer on this. Next, the next three are all Department of Public Safety. In Massachusetts, the Department of Public Safety covers the Mass Oil Burner Technicians, the Mass Refrigeration Technicians, and the Mass Pipe Fizz license, which there's quite a few of. We'll discuss that further on. And you see underneath the Mass Refrigeration Technicians license, we also have an asterisk there for the EPA 608 certificate for refrigerants. It's a must-have. You need to do it. You need to get that first. That's why we have that link if you want to do anything with refrigeration, including that Mass Refrigeration Technician's license. And at the bottom, I put in red there, there is no HVAC license in Mass, only refrigeration, gas, oil. You see that even on some of the job pages. One of the requirements oftentimes will say Mass HVAC license. There really isn't one. So you got to ask people to specify for you what exactly they're looking for. Sometimes you can tell anyways, but all right, I just want to hash that out. So first we have the Mass Plumber's license. What you first have to do is get your apprentice license, and you need to work under a master plumber. He or she must sign off on that application. It's a 5-year, 5-tier plumbing program. It consists of 110 hours of at an approved school, 1,700 clock hours a year out in the field. You have to work underneath. You have to have a master plumber sign off on you, but you can work underneath a journeyman out in the field. You can now, as of 2017, you can take Tier 1 before being employed by a plumbing company. Although it's a good idea to get employed by a plumbing company as soon as possible if you want to seek out that trade license. And also, Tier 1 and 2 may be taken in the first year, which isn't a bad thing if you don't mind going to school for approximately 9 months straight. Some breaks, but remember, you still need 8,500 total work hours and 550 total school hours, regardless of how you go about that. And now, once you have all your work and school hours, which now they want you to have completed within 10 years, you have 6 attempts to pass the journeyman exam. After you pass, and you will, it's if you're on a website like this, you're clearly interested in bettering yourself already. So give yourself 5 years of school and training, and you'll be well on your way. But you only need one more year in the field to be eligible to take your Massachusetts master license. You still have to test it out for it. But it's not a bad deal. You already have all the school done, and I'm sure you'll be working, so all you have to do after that is pay the money and take the test. So that's for the plumbers. Next, we have the mass gas fitters license. Very similar to the plumbers, it falls under the same board of examiners. You need to work for a master in the trade and have them sign off on your apprentice card, and eventually have them also sign off on your work hours. Whenever you go for a trade license, whoever you are working under, the license individual has to sign off on your work hours too, no matter what the license is. Always, always. Your education consists of 330 hours and field experience of 5,100 hours. So there are a lot of new stipulations on the gas fitters. You can look that up on that information I gave on the second slide. Next, I have 2 asterisks for both plumbers and gas fitter apprentices can be supervised by journeymen of that designated trade, as I stated while I was going through the gas fitter's license. You might want to check out the webpage for gas fitters or plumbing or any of the licenses. Matter of fact, if you have some high school trade hours, because those are constantly changing along with all the other regulations. So you may have some hours built up that you didn't know about. It's worth looking into if you have some previous schooling. You never know, you can save yourself some time and money. Alright, what do we have next? We have the Mass Oil Burn Technician Certificate License. That is through the Mass DPS. No school or work hours are legally required, or officially, maybe I should have stated officially required. However, it is highly suggested that you start off as an apprentice. They do have this as an apprentice through the DPS, and work for a couple of years in the field before you attempt this trade as a day job. I mean, you are literally playing with fire, carbon dioxide. There's a lot of stuff going on with this stuff, so if you did fill out the application, they did give you permission to pass the test, and then somehow you passed without studying or anything, just by chance, you'd be kind of doing the public a disservice by going out and practicing that trade without any formal schooling and training. But that's just the honest answer for you. Those are the actual requirements. Now, the Mass Refrigeration Technician license, most common prerequisites for journeyman license. And I put that because there are a couple of different routes you can go, but the one that I'm putting up is probably the most practical. So this is how you'd go about it. You'd first need the EPA 608 Universal Certificate. I left the link at the top. Second, you need to have been enrolled in a Division of Apprenticeship Standards, DAS, and hold a DAS card. And you need 600 work hours as an apprentice, signed off by your licensed boss. I put that in there. You got to make sure you're working for somebody who's there's a lot of AC companies, but they might not, have a guy that can actually sign you off. You want to make sure that you're working towards a license with, under somebody who has the credentials to sign you off in the end. So you're not sitting there with the school. Because with the refrigeration, it's a little different than the plumbing and electrical. Plumbing and electrical, I don't believe you can take any classes outside of the Tier 1 plumbing if you're not working underneath a licensed individual and yourself holding an apprentice card. Whereas to this refrigeration technician apprenticeship, you can take the schooling, the 100 hours of refrigeration theory and the 150 hours of mass electrical code training. Both have to be from certified schools. All these have to be from certified schools. So you could theoretically do the schooling and then not in the end have the actual work hours able to be signed off on for you. As I said before, you can follow the link I put at the beginning if you want other options, but this is the most practical. You'll see if you look at it up. All right, Mass Refrigeration Contractors license. After you've obtained a refrigeration technician's license, you can work an additional 2,000 hours in the field and complete 100 hours of additional refrigeration training. Again, from an approved school. That's all the trades have to be an approved school. And when you go on those websites I left the links to at the beginning, that's one of the things you can find is certified schools. All right, next we have the Mass Journeyman Electrician. Again, the first thing you want to do, you want to make sure you're working for an electrician you can sign off on your apprentice license before you go too far. An electrical or journeyman can sign off on you. You don't need a master. Next, you need a minimum of 800 field hours, no less than 4 years. As for education, you need 600 hours from an approved school. As always, I keep mentioning that. I just want to make sure you don't forget that. Note there are many licensing arrangements and classes in the electrical field, i.e. alarm. You may want to use the link at the beginning to do more research if you are not pursuing a general journeyman's license. If you are, that's what I have put there previously is what you're looking for. Master electrician. Work 1 year as a journeyman electrician, which is easy. Once you get your license, you'll be bound to work a year as a journeyman. And all you need is another 150 hours of an approved electrical class to take the master electrician exam. Just pay the fee and take the test. Pipe fitter's license. This one's pretty big, so I left it fairly vague. And again, you have the link at the beginning. And worst case scenario, look up Mass Pipe Fitters, Department of Public Safety, and start looking. You'll find what you're looking for eventually. It's actually not too bad. They do a pretty good job on their website in their links. So, as I said, pipe fitting falls under DPS licensing and not under the plumbing and gas fitter board. There are 3 different apprentice licenses you can obtain under pipe fitting, along with your journeyman, along with 5 journeymen and 5 master license categories. Like I said, there's quite a few different routes you can go. They split that trade up quite a bit. Similar to the refrigeration technician license, an apprentice needs to make sure that they obtain a DAS card through their licensed boss. As I said, please use the link at the beginning to further research on the license. They do have a nice chart that they already have made for you on their website on the different pipe fitters. The sprinkler fitters, process pipe fitters, and so on. And they show you the requirements on that chart and how to get yourself to be a journeyman and then a master. All right, I hear people talk all the time, hearsay about licensing requirements. A lot of people don't know either how to go about looking it up, or they depend on somebody to give them some half information. We figured that would be our first video. Next time we'll try to do the New Hampshire trade resources. Down the road, we're going to have some plumbing and pipe fitting math, some NFPA 54 and 58 gas and chimney chart reading. That's good. A lot of people I hear don't do well on the test because of those. Mass and New Hampshire plumbing water pipe sizing. That's pretty basic, but I'm sure there's a number of people getting those wrong out there when they go to test. Just for general knowledge, we'll throw in some refrigeration, superheat, and subcooling for residential comfort cooling, and maybe if people send in comments or ask questions, we can make videos to help answer those questions for you. All right. Well, thanks for visiting. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you tell a friend.